What's up, everybody? It's Matty and Jules here with a little Marital Wasabi, and we want to encourage you to invest in your marriage. A little bit goes a long way.
Today, we want to talk to you about the power that is present in a marriage when you realize that your spouse notices you, that you're seen by them.
Yeah, so to put it in the negative, one of the greatest factors that contributes to loneliness in a marriage is the feeling that we're invisible. We're unseen, unnoticed, and ultimately unappreciated.
So for us, this goes back to July 2001.
Oh, gosh.
I was in South Carolina. Maddie was in Florida. And we had been dating for a while. And a friend said to me, "Hey, Julia, will you walk out to your car and get something for me?" So I was like, sure. I walked out there, and on the hood of my car was a picnic basket. And taped to my window was this note. And as I got closer, I saw that it had 3 words on it. I see you. And at first, honestly, it was really creepy. I mean, I was in this kind of back area of South Carolina. I was like, this is kind of creepy. But then I noticed that it was actually Maddie's handwriting, and my heart started to beat faster. I was excited. I thought, wait, he's in Florida. I'm in South Carolina. Wait, is he in Florida? Could he be in South Carolina? And could today be the day that he's going to ask me to marry him?
And right about then, I slowly pulled up in my smooth Honda Civic, and I rolled down the window, and I said a line I'd been rehearsing for days. Want to take a ride? It was so smooth, y'all. And it was the day I proposed to her. Now, back to that 3-word creepy note, I see you. The night before, I knew that moment when she got to the car was going to be so big. And so I spent hours writing a love poem. And when I got there that morning, I put the picnic basket on top of the car, and I couldn't find the poem. And one of her girlfriends called and said she's on the way down, and I just was flustered. And so I couldn't remember anything in the poem, and I just wrote the first thing that came to me, straight Friday the 13th, Jason style. I see you. Oh my gosh. Exclamation point.
Exclamation point. Yeah. So while that wasn't Maddie's plan, it worked. And I was so happy that the man that I had fallen in love with had noticed me. I was seen. And so in the years that have followed, we've really noticed, and we've applied this to our marriage. This is a practice in our marriage that is very fruitful and important.
Yeah, so if we're honest, a lot of times we go through our days and we really wonder, does my spouse see all that I do? Do they see how I feel? Are they listening when I'm trying to express what I desire? I know for years, Julia would consistently express what she desires, and I would ignore it because I wasn't able to meet it in the moment. And we've learned something since then.
So, Matt would ignore it because he thought he had to act on everything I said. If I expressed a desire, then he needed to act on that desire. But actually, I just wanted him to acknowledge it. I wanted to be seen and noticed. And I think that's really true in most marriages. We're not really always asking for action. We're asking for acknowledgement, and we're asking to be seen and to be noticed.
Yeah, so Ronald Reagan, a former president, he was known to write love letters to his wife Nancy all throughout their marriage. And you can read a lot of these in the book, I Love You, Ronnie, but it was his way of saying, I see you. And for us, here's one example is Julia's in birth work, and sometimes a birth will take her away for 24 hours. And just in one day of me having to think for all the needs of our 5 kids, and when I say think for all the needs, I mean keep them alive. I don't even feed them. After she gets back home and she wakes up, I make it a point to let her know, I see all that you do on a daily basis, and it's amazing. You're a superwoman. Thank you. Seen and appreciated. It means so much in a marriage.
That's right. And for Maddie, I really try to take time to acknowledge that he's seen and noticed in sometimes everyday work that he does. People will assume, and maybe sometimes I even assume, things are easy for Matt. If he needs to write a motivational speech or prepare for a talk or write some content or something, he does that so well. There's an assumption that it's easy, but actually he works really, really hard. So I'll take time to say, hey, I noticed all the time that you put into that, and I could tell that you've been thinking for a long time on that, and I just wanted to tell you that you're doing a great job with that.
A lot of times I feel like I'm working as hard as I can, And then when I get that little note with maybe my sandwich at lunch or a text, I see how hard you're working, I take it into another gear. There's just power in being noticed.
And the way I think about it now, instead of I see you, it's like I see you. All right, I see you.
Yeah, so whether you start with a creepy 3-word note taped to the car window, I see you, or whether you write an elegant love letter like Ronnie Reagan, it doesn't matter as long as we commit to doing our best to let our spouse know, I see you, I notice you, all you do, how you feel, and what you desire. That's today's Marital Wasabi. Stay safe, friends.